good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another VW show. And, have I got a show for you? So, I didn't realise until I was having a look to see what I was going to do tonight. Thought I'll just do one issue because my game's out and it's only running for just for the weekend and I'm busy tomorrow. Anyway, I thought I'll do one issue, but no, I've noticed that we get some parts in this next issue we're going to do, 38. And I thought, well, I might as well do 39 as well because we're going to need, we're going to need some of this because I want to test some electrics. So yeah, we get some electrics we're going to be doing this week. So I'm doing it. You know what I'm like. I like a bit of electronics. And it's quite exciting because there's going to be switches. So, if I implement a Bluetooth thing for this, that's a start. Because I'm going to try and work out if those switches are labelled. I don't know yet because I'm not open the packet. Make a note of them so later on we know. Well, I know. What I can do with them. So anyway, enough blabbering on. Let me go through some chat. So, we got Steve131. Will be good, Horlixs. Thank you, Steve. Hi, Steve. Peter Webster says, hi, Alex. Hi, Steve, buddy. So, hi, Peter. Warren James says, hi, good luck. Good luck tonight, Horlixs. Thank you very much. Lee says, hi, Alex. Good luck tonight. Thank you very much. Ian says, hi, Alex, Wendy and all. Hi, Ian. Yeah, you just missed Wendy. She's just knocked off, but I need to put her back on, really, because the cup's getting a bit empty. It's not good. I'm getting through cups of coffee like anyone's business. Like a couple of gulps and it's gone. I don't know what's going on. Gillian says, good evening, Horlixs, and everyone in chat. Hi, Gillian. How are you? Marie says, hello, everyone. So hello, Marie. How are you? Dear Sponsor Vintage says, hi, Horlixs. Hope you have a good show. Thank you very much. Lindsay's Build says, evening, everyone, and Horlixs. Good evening, Lindsay. How are you? Dave Build says, good evening, everyone, and good luck with your build, Alex, and have a great show. My internet came back on just in time. Do you know what? I've had internet problems today. It's everywhere. Dave Build says, good evening, Steve131, Peter Webster, Warren James, Enfield, Lee, Ian Campbell, Gillian, Marie, Dear Smiles of Vintage, and Lindsay's Builds. Warren James says, evening to Dave Matt Builds. Peter Webster says, hi, Marie, Gillian, and Lindsay. Dave, Matt, and Ian, and Warren. Lee says, hi, everyone in chat. Peter Webster says, hi to Dave S. Warren James says, hi to Peter. Dear Smiles of Vintage says, hi to everyone in the chat. Steve131 says, how are you, Peter Webster? Steve131 says, Dave Matt Builds. Crafty Chris says, hello, have a great stream, Horlixs. Good evening, everyone in chat. So, good evening, Crafty Chris. Peter Webster says, hi, I'm Todd. Steve, I'm Todd. Steve owes you doing. Dave Matt Builds says, evening, Crafty Chris. Peter Webster says, hi to Chris. Crafty Chris says, hi, Dave Matt. Hope is all wet. Hope all is wet at your end. Ian says, good luck, Alex. Thank you. Ian says, hi, Dave, and Sir Dave. Dave Matt Build says, Crafty Chris and everyone. Good here, thanks. So, yeah, awesome. Steve131 says, I need to stop saying 131. Steve says, I'm all good at Peter Webster. Lee says hi to Ian. Ian says hi to Lee. Steve says hi to Lee. Lee says hi to Chris and to Dave Matt. Chris says hi to Peter. And Lee says hi, Dave, and Sir Dave. So, I will start that there. Let's get on with some builds. So, let me change my camera. I'm using the Power Upgrade mat tonight. There we go. Because we're going to be working on that really flimsy, the floor, and it's bendy. So, and I've got to have it on its side. So, perfect. So if you haven't got one of these, head over to Ian at Power Upgrades, and you can get yourself one in a whole manner of different colours. It's your choice, and it can be personalised as well. So what I've done is I've set up this multimeter, and I've jerry-rigged a JST connector in there just to make it easier to test the switches, because we've got a couple of switches coming up this evening. So I've just stripped some wire back and plugged it in with the leads just to keep them in. So yeah, we'll look at that later. We don't need that just yet though. So issue 38. And let me skip forward to the instructions. We've got quite a few parts that we get supplied in this issue. So we're going to be doing the front seats, carpet, pedals and levers. Well, we're not actually going to do all of that, but in this assembly session, you will install the front seats, carpet and the throttle, brake and clutch pedals supplied in this issue. The other parts should be stored for a later session. Okay, so let's go through some of these parts. I just need to move this up so I can cut the parts open, because I don't want to be cutting into this this mat. And then I can lay this out and we can go through and make sure we've got everything present. So 38.1 is the front seats carpet. So that's another piece of the flexible rubber. Let's have some more light on the situation. Okay. 38.2 is a throttle switch, number 1. Oh, here we go. So they are labelled. Easy peasy. I'm liking that. I'm going to take these out because we don't need them in this issue, but we will do, just to make sure everything's good. So, oh, they're all knotted up. There we go. So switch number 1, and it clicks. That's good. So we've got switch 1. 38.3, we've got brake switch number, so that was the throttle switch. This is the brake switch number 2, labelled 2. And they're going to be exactly the same. They're just labelled differently for the circuit board and how we're going to fit them. So 38.4 is the gear lever, which is going to be this piece. It's really nicely painted. So yeah, we've got the gear lever, so it'll be like that. And we're not going to need that, so I'm going to put that in the top of the Horlixs screw pot. 38.5 is the handbrake lever, so that'll be that orientation. Okay, so that's really nicely painted as well. Really happy with that. Okay, 38.6 is the throttle pedal, so that'll be in this bag here. So I will open this one as well. Okay, so that is going to be this one here. So that's the throttle pedal. .38.7 is the clutch pedal. So that'll be this one. No, it won't. It'll be this one. It's got some really nice detail in there as well. It's got VW etched. I'm not sure you can see, the camera's not that great. But it's got, there you go. Come on, this camera, there you go. You can just see it there. See, it's got VW etched in there. So that's a nice touch. This is 38.8, which is the brake pedal. And the way you can tell these apart, this one's got a post sticking out, which I'm guessing is going to be to operate the switch. And the clutch pedal hasn't got one of those, so you can quite easily tell them apart, and they've got different fittings at the bottom. Okay. 38.9 is a throttle switch bracket, which is the longer one. There's two here. One is a short one and one is a long one. So the long one is a throttle switch bracket. The short one is the brake switch bracket. Okay, so apart from the length, there's no indication on there. 3811 are 2 pins. Oh God. We've got 2 pins we're going to have to fit at some point. And they're metal. So this is giving me Eddie Stobart vibes. I'm going to leave them in there for the moment in case one decides to roll off. It shouldn't do because they'll be going in the screw pot, but we don't need them just yet. So 3812 is the starter knob. So let me open the knobs. We'll open these. Wow. In fact, I could have left these in here, but 3812 is the starter knob. Now, it's really hard to see. A heating knob and a starter knob. Now there is some slight differences, but I can't actually work out which one's which at the moment based on what we've got. One has got a flat top. Oh, don't want to lose it. You can see that. One is flat at the top. And this one's got like some detail on the top, see? So I'm reckoning that'll probably be the starter knob, maybe. I don't know. But I'm hoping we'll get some more detail later on when we come to fit those parts. 3814 is a heating controller, and that is pretty obvious what that is, because it's got different shape on the end. So yeah, lovely painted parts again. Okay, and then that just leaves some screws. So we've got some BP06 screws, which I will put in here just in case we need them. I'm not sure if we do or not yet, but we will do at some point. If not, they'll go in my screw pot. And then we've got some BP08 screws as well with this. So again, I'm going to put them, and what I do is I cut the label out just so I know. I put them in my screw pot, like so. Okay, so there are the parts. Everything seems to be present and correct. Okay, so let me go through a bit more chat. Crafty Chris says hi to Lee. David Bassett says good evening, Horlixs, and all in chat. Hi, David Bassett. Mark Small says good evening, everyone. I'm just wondering if taking the floor off the front of the camper to work on these parts would be better than turning over the whole interior and possibly damaging the seats. Yeah, that is a very good point. You could do. Obviously, my only concern would be if we did that more than once. Obviously, we're screwed into plastic, haven't we? It'll be all right to work on these, but it's not going to be the end of it because we've got the knobs to fit and all sorts, which will come later. So I'd have to take it off 2 or 3 times. But we'll see how we get on. But yeah, if we struggle, then that is a very valid option. Yeah. So noted. David Bassett says, hi to Crafty Chris, Lee, Ian and Mark. Peter Webster says hi to Mark. Peter says hi to David Bassett, and Ian says hi, Mark's Mods. Check Facebook message. Lee says hi to Mark. So, David Bassett also says evening, Dave Matt Builds, Peter Webster, and Steve. And that's chat for the moment. So let's get started then. So the first step is to place the front seats carpet on the front floor, inserting the posts into the holes shown in the picture. So like the other ones, let me just grab this, this unit. We're going to be fitting the carpet into there. And I've got my duster here because I do get some dust on this. It needs constant dusting off. Right, we're going to fit this in. Hopefully that'll line up nicely. Okay, so the middle one doesn't want to go. Let me just put this on its side. Right. Well, this isn't fitting very nicely, and if you notice, I've got a slightly defective mat. You see it comes in, it's like stretched in. Like it needs stretching back out. And of course, it's making the pin come further down, so it's not lining up. So I think the only way I'm going to be able to fix that is with a bit of glue. Yeah, see, and it pulls straight back out. And you can see that none of this is lined up where it's shrunk here. So that's a shame. Not really sure what to suggest. Then here I can say the only thing I could do is put some glue on there. Do we put glue? Because once it's in, it does seem to hold it. If we let go, pulls it straight back out. Mm-hmm. Right. If I fit that, if I fit all the other pins, can I get that in afterwards? Yes. So what I think I'm going to do is just carry on and then see what happens. Hopefully, once I fit some of this, it might push that further over. If not, I will contact them and perhaps get another mat or glue it. Once it's in the hole, it seems to look okay. But let's just carry on for now. So next we want to insert the throttle pedal into this one here. Wow. And how does that fit? It's not like that because that flange has to go in the hole and sit underneath. So you've got that there. And you can see on this image, that flange sits underneath, which would make sense because it would stop it coming up. Oh, there you go. Oh, that was tricky. So you have to sort of almost do it flat. So now that won't come back up. Right, we've got a load more chat I better catch up with. Good evening, David Bassett, Peter Webster, Ian Campbell, and Lee. And will do, Ian. That's from Mark's Mods. Peter Webster says, not any issues with damaging anything yet. Dave McBell says, good evening, David Bassett and Mark's Mods. Ian says, getting dust on it. You need a dust cover or cleaning kit. We specialise in both. Yes, you do. So yeah, head over there. David Bassett says, evening, Warren Builds, dear sponsor vintage, also known as Sir Dave. Peter Webster says, nice plug, Ian. Ian says, haha, thanks, Peter. Peter Webster says, I glued all the mat pegs in. Evening at David Bassett, says Warren. Mark Small says, put the rubber mat into boiling water. Yeah, that could work. Danno Builds says, I'm using my phone now. My internet gone off again. Oh, God. Steve says, evening to David Bassett. David Bassett says, cut that little pin off and glue it in the right position, perhaps. Yeah, there is that. I don't really want to do that though, because it shouldn't be like that. So I think, you know, and I've just realised I've got that pedaling and it's going to have to come straight back out again to fit this. Doing well tonight, aren't I? Steve says evening at Mark's Mods. Mark's Mods says evening to Steve. Steve131 says Dave Mountain Builds, my internet kept going down last week. Peter says my internet with Virgin been hit and miss lately. Dave Mountain Builds says that's who I'm with, Peter. Virgin Media. I might have a thing turned off and go with another provider. Steve says I'm Sky, Peter Webster, but I think they all rent from BT. Dave Builds says, Steve, it's been down most of the day. And Lee says here, but working on a build. So awesome. Right, now I need to try and get this back out. Easy. Okay, so, right, I've made the executive decision to glue this in, I think. Let me just test fit this one more time. It's just that back pin. If I can get that in like that to stay, the rest fits perfectly. So let me put a dab of glue on there. And hold that in for a minute. Right, so that has held now. There we go. And all the other pins are in, but they aren't really staying in. So let's take the advice there of where's my yeah, just put double glue on the back pin. Good idea. Right, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, last one. I don't normally like doing this, but I don't want it to hold me up. And I think, you know, I could order another one. But then I'll be waiting a while, and So now let's turn this up the other way, because those ones haven't held. Right, just check all that is secure. Right, okay, we can move on. That's it. Everything is in. So now we can go back to fitting this pedal. So what I suggest is you put the long pin in the hole first, and then that gives you a bit more room just to slot that in, and then that fell straight in that time. Okay, so what we need to do now is turn that back over. Oh God. Now, this is where I think I'm going to need to be a magician. I'm going to turn this over. And we need to put a pin down into that top hole there. So wish me luck. So the pin's going to go in with the rough edge last, because that's what will keep it in place. And I'll see if I can get that in with my tweezers. And I've got a little bit of flash or something. It seems to be really trying me tonight, this issue. There we go. So now I've freed the hole up. We can line that pedal up. Hopefully. There we go. Get that through. And then push that home. And it's saying to use a pair of pliers to get that fully home. Oh, I didn't like that, but it's gone in. That works now. So let me just flip this back over. I think that's a good thing to do, and just check that the pin has gone all the way through. Ah, that's what was keeping me up. There's a little bit of flash on that side, I should have checked, but that has gone through, and I'm happy with that. You can just see the end of the pin sticking through, and a little bit of flash behind it that it got caught. But that all seems good. So, God, the fiddly little issue tonight, this, isn't it? This is something to do. Okay. David Bassett says Van Crash Friday horse. Yeah, it seems like it. David Bassett, just put a dab of glue on the back pin, then yeah. Okay, done them. Peter Webster says, sent you a message, Mark. Mark Sponsor says, Peter Webster just seen it and replied. Peter Webster says, okay, bud. And Peter Webster says, you think this issue's a pain? Wait till the pipes start. It's almost as bad as the eddy. No, I think, it's a good issue, but it's just, I've just had a couple of problems. That's all, one after another. But that looks all right now, and that's all holding in okay. So we've got to do the same again. So that was fitting that, putting that in. Using a pair of pliers, press the pin to ensure it's fully seated. Yep, we've done that. The next step is to insert the brake pedal into the hole as indicated in the front. So that's going to go into this front one here. And the brake pedal's got the peg on there as well. So that's going to go in and round. And down. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Be gentle with it. And it's black on black, so you can't really see that well. The brake pedal also has a notched semicircular support that must project through the bottom of the floor. Insert the second pin through the housing and support as before. So we're going to have to do exactly the same. So I'm going to turn this back over because I'm finding that easier to work because the hole is then at the top. And we're going to work here. And then hopefully, carefully line that hole up, which it seems to be. Oh, got it, don't worry. Oh, okay, that's going to need some work there. Let me grab, before that goes anywhere else, my little file. I just need to file. Take that back out. Just this top hole a little bit, because there's another bit of flash on the back. Right, let's try that. That's better. That's better. So that's gone in all the way to the bottom, push that down, and then we'll use my pliers. There you go. Nice satisfying click. Okay. Now, there's not a lot of movement on that one. It's very minimal. So be careful when you're, I guess we're going to have to be really careful when we're, moving this about now, that we don't put too much pressure on that pedal. It's got movement, but not that's as much as it's got. Okay. Now insert the clutch pedal 38.7 into the hole indicated on the floor. Okay, so it's got a little, we've got a little D shape in there, and that is where the clutch pedal is going to go. Now, it doesn't say to use any glue. That's going to need glue, surely. Anyone in chat, did you glue yours in? David Bassett says, van crash Friday. Horlixs, yeah. Oh, yeah, we did that. Sorry. Done that. Oh, yeah, we've done all of them. That's fine. Yeah, has anyone else put a dab of glue on that pedal? Because I'm tempted to from the other side. Do you know what? I'm just going to do it. It comes through here, and to me, that's too loose. It doesn't say to glue it. I don't suspect. Well, it won't be coming out again because the pins are fitted now. So I'm actually going to just put glue on the end of this pin. And then just put it back in from the top. And then just put a little bit on the bottom. Yeah, that will do. That way it's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, probably a good idea, or it'll be falling out. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so sweat over. That is a completed issue for this one. So you're going to have fun with that. Carefully identify and store the other parts in use for a later assembly session. So everything else we've got still in the screw pot and the switches. Okay. Oh, right, I'm going to have a drink. Peter Webster says I did. Yeah. Well, there we go. So I'm just going to move that to one side again. And then we'll have a look at issue 39. Let's hope this one's got electrics in, so this will go fine. I hope. So, in this issue, we get the spare tyre and inserting the pedal wiring. In this session, you will continue with the assembly of the front cab you began in the last issue. This time, you will install the pedal's electric wiring. The tyre supply of this issue should be stored for a later session. And here is the tyre. So actually, I was moaning, saying, oh, well, this issue, we're going to get just a tyre. And then I think next week we get a rib. But the way this is panned out and we're like an issue of parts behind, it means that we have got something to do in this issue. Yes, we've got the tyre. That'll sit aside, and I'm guessing probably next issue we'll be making one of the tyres. So, no, that's pretty cool. So that's going to go away. Don't need it. And then we're going to move on to some wiring. So, from the unused parts received in the last issue, retrieve those shown in the picture. So, we're going to want the switches, the cable grips, and 3816, which doesn't say what they are, but I'm hoping it will later on. Examine the wires carefully. They are electric elements and must be handled with great care. Well, it's a switch. As the wires are very thin and soldered ends can be easily damaged. So, to identify the two wires, they have numbered label that also indicates where they should be installed. Take care that this label is not detached or lost. Okay. Turn the cab over and install wire number 1 in the housing indicated with the picture, which is underneath the throttle pedal. So we're going to want switch 1. So this is where my multimeter is going to come into play. And I made this because I want to check these switches work before we put them in. So the multimeter has got something called continuity mode. And when you touch the probes, so if you can hear that, you'll get a beep and a 0 to indicate a short. I've just wedged this connector in just to make this easier because that is the type of connector we've got. So I can plug this in. Well, I thought we could, but it's a bit of a strange connector. It has to fit. What on earth? That is definitely the same fitment. That's a JST micro. You can tell it is. The pins are in the same place, but it doesn't want to go in. Okay, scrap that then. I'll just do it the hard way. So I'm going to touch the two pins on this plug. What did I say earlier? I jinxed it. Everything will go well. It's an electronic issue. Not. And then when we push the switch, providing I'm making a good connection, I can't do it with the mat. Yeah. So when you push the button, you get a beep and that'll go to 0. So I'm happy that that switch works. So while we're here, we'll just check the other one. I'm really baffled why that connector does not fit in there, because as far as I'm aware, there's one type, JST micro. I know there's different JST connectors, but of that this small, and then the same with this. Oh. I'm sure these will be absolutely fine, but it's good just to check. So there one. I'm going to push the switch. Yeah. That's it. That one works as well. I wonder if that one fits in there. No, it doesn't. I suppose I could modify this, because I've got loads. Just don't get it though. Shouldn't have to. No, it'll probably fit. If I have it on the right setting. Yeah. Well, I've had to modify that, but that's fine. Let's carry on. They both work, so that's good. So, turn the cab over, install wire number 1. In the housing indicated with the picture, and is underneath the throttle pedal. So, throttle is this one in this this bit here. So it's going to fit with the obviously the switch going in there. And that is a nice fit. Check that the wires are in position as shown in the picture, which they are. Okay. Mount the throttle switch bracket on the 2 posts indicated and secure it with BP08 screws. So this looks like it's going to be the longer one. Yep. And then we're going to secure that over there with the 2 BP08 screws. That's one started. And then just support that. We don't want to do it too tight. And then we can check that it clicks. Ah, and it does nicely. You hear that? So, not much travel on there. It clicks and it comes back. So that's that one done. Next, insert cable number 2. So I want to make notes. VW camper switches, just so it makes it easier for me later on if I decide to do a mod. So number 1, switch 1 is the throttle, and switch 2 we're just about to install is going to be the brake pedal. Lovely. So in the same way, yeah, we're going to fit the other one, which is just up here. So I'm just going to straighten these cables up. That's going to pop into there. And that's gone in nicely. Now I'm just checking the orientation of where those wires go. I don't know whether it's going to matter. Well, it will do at some point, but you're showing this one around there, like so. So that one's through there. Yeah, and that one's just around that side, but we can adjust them later, I guess. Okay, so then we're going to fit the smaller one. Now there is an orientation to this. You'll notice there's a gap in one side there, and that's going to go up here around this this cutout section. I don't think it's going to go the other way. But, or will it? No, it does. It does go the other way, so be extra careful which way that goes. So there's a cutout on the, you got this side which looks like that, and then you'll see this side's got a cutout. That cutout needs to be up the top here in the orientation I've got it. So more towards the middle of the camper. Examine the brake switch bracket, which has different ends, and orientate it as shown in the picture. We've done that. So, again, we want to BPO8s. That's one. And these screws go in really nicely. Okay, not too tight. Okay. Avoid damages to the wires. Secure them to the floor using some masking tape. Okay. Electrical tape to the rescue. So it's sort of showing them. It really doesn't matter, but it's showing them around here. Taped there. And then another bit. The mag is showing them taped. I don't want to go over that label. sort of taped on there like so. So they're just out of harm's way. And then we can just test the other one again. Yeah. So you can see that there's a nice satisfying click on that. And then we've got one there. They sound different, but the pedals are different. So they both work. So that's a success. The result. So that was the view from the bottom. And yeah, that is it for issue 39. So that's cool. Right, let me come back up. Now, I'm not going to lie, I struggled a bit with that. Normally, I'm pretty good with these, but I had a few problems that was eating at me. Like, first the mat didn't fit, and then those holes for the pedals weren't great. Luckily, I had some little files to clear the hole out. And then my little thing decided not to fit for the... Oh, never mind. It's one of them days. So, next week will be better. It's not normally me. Like, I'm normally alright with stuff like this, but that was a bit challenging, to be fair. And as people are saying, like, you know, just wait till later on. But hopefully there won't be too many issues. So, David Bassett says, well done, Horlixs fiddly issue. Thank you very much, David. David says, issue 39, wiring right up your street. Yeah. Ian says, then micro JSTs can be a pain. Yeah. It's... I think it is quite specific. They are JSTs, micros. They're the 125 ones because I ordered some for my mod. I've noticed at the bottom of the JSTs, there's like this other bit of plastic. So I think they're specific, which actually could cause a problem later on for any mods I decide to do. So I'm going to have to look more into them and see what's going on. Peter Webster says micro can be 1mm or JST or 125 JST. Yeah, so my female connector was a 125, and that connector looked the same. It certainly wasn't smaller. It just wouldn't go in because there was another bit on the front of it, which was really odd. Not seeing one anyway. Ian says, I got to go. I'll take it easy. See you on the next one. Thanks, Ian. Yeah, thanks for popping in. Mark says night to Ian. Dave Builds says, see you next time, Ian. David Bassett says night to Ian. Peter Webster says night, Ian. Ian says, later, chaps. Lee says, good stream, big light. Thank you very much, Lee. David Bassett says, great live stream tonight, Horlixs. Overcome those issues very nicely. Yeah. That's sitting okay now, that mat. So, yeah. And, you know, I know you can see it more now in the flesh, but by the time it's all built into the cab and everything, you're probably not going to notice it anyway. But that's, at least it's holding in now, so that's good. David Bassett says, like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. Lindsay's Bill says, I had a day like that yesterday, building those planes for the aircraft carrier. I had a break today. Yeah. Well, so I haven't done a lot today, really, but it happens, doesn't it? It does happen. Now, it was fiddly, but we got the electrics in. Switches work. Could have been worse. Dear Smiles and Vintage as well done for seeing it through. Thank you very much. Yeah. Right. So that is that bit done. That's the front. So yeah, next week I'm guessing we're going to be working on another wheel. But we will see next week, won't we? So just going to dust that off. I need to get a dust cover, don't I? So yeah, there's still some parts left in my tray, which will go nicely in my screw pot, because I've got a nice big bit down the middle that I can store stuff like that in. So let me put the, we haven't used any of the BPO6 screws yet. And I need to make 2 labels, because we've got some BPO7s and now we've got BPO8s. So I shall do that off stream in a sec. I'm going to pop all these little details in there, and the brake lever, the handbrake lever and the gear knob is going to go in the middle. There you go. So everything is safe in there. So I've got the things there and there. Let me turn some of these lights off. I've got, just in case I lose them, you know where they are. So the heating controls and everything are in this one here. And then the other bits are in the middle there. And that's it. So Lee says, night, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Lee. Dave McBill says, well done, Alex, you overcome the obstacles. Thank you very much. David Bassett says, night to Lee. Dave McBill says, night to Lee. And Lee says, yeah, Lee's live on Sunday at 5 with a live unboxing of Peter Webster. So yeah, awesome. Check out Lee and everyone else in the chat. Most have got channels, if not all. Great show tonight. Big thumbs up, Dave Builds says. So yeah, I've got some links in my description below. There's also some, yeah, everyone in the chat here has got links as well. So check out their channels and like and subscribe to them and show the support. I think all of us here do anyway. But for those that might join later on. So thank you very much for watching. I'm away tomorrow, so there's no Bedford tomorrow. But me and Dave are going to do one on Sunday evening for you as well instead. So I will see you Sunday evening for more of the Bedford build. And until then, have a good evening, have a good weekend, and I will see you next time. So yeah, good night.